Hello everybody. In today's sort of throw together episode, or whatever you want to call it, I'm going to start with some advertisement. SB Games, Out of This World, is no longer in the same location anymore, but I like to go there and buy stuff. So they haven't paid me, I haven't been given anything really incentive to do this, just what I'm going to show you today is, well, most of what I'm going to show you today is what I bought from them. Which is these GameCube Controllers. Now, great thing about these were bought non-working, or however you want to call it, which is great. So there's no return warranty or anything. For some reason it's a really big thing. Sorry, I don't know why, but the problem with this one, it's missing the right button. Other than that, I've plugged it into my GameCube and it seems to work just fine. Now, the other thing is, I've got this one. I discovered the down button doesn't seem to work, and also this is, well, yeah. But this one does have that working. What I would like to do is to get both of these working, despite having these. Now, somewhat expensive, yes. However, when I purchased it, it was on special for $23. Not bad. This was released during the whole Wii U sort of debacle, where you could play Smash Brothers using the controller. I bought it only for my GameCube, so getting it at about half price, no, under half price, was really nice. My goal was to get 4 controllers, so if I can get, so I got that good one, I've got the original one that came with the console itself, and I also have these two. I did order a cheap Chinese version, which is coming from the mainland, and I'm going to try to see if I can actually repair this one in a later episode, while in this episode my intention is to try to fix this controller up, which is going to be replacing this knob and also just putting in the new button. As for this one, I'd like to see the actual damage, because if the logic board in this thing is damaged and replacing this part is going to be difficult, yikes. But the controller itself does function. So the first thing you'll need to do, and I was stupid when I first bought mine, I only got this screwdriver. I also got this one with a DS sort of setup that I picked up, but if you are buying, sorry, if you are going to get into the whole Nintendo sort of thing, you want to get both of these screwdrivers. Otherwise, you'll eventually come to a point where you'll need it and you won't have it. What I will also be doing today is opening up this, which is a cheap Chinese version of a Wii U, a Wii controller, sorry, not a Wii U, a Wii. But it's got these, and I'm curious whether or not they're using similar to the C port on here or up here, because you might be able to grab these instead. And you've also got the Wii controller, which, surprise, surprise, seems to have a similar design. So I was going to take this nun-chuck off, and I should take it off my Wii controller. And my brain's not really working today, and see whether or not this is similar to this as well. I mean, they look almost identical. So they're two things, extra things we're going to be pulling apart. But first, let's try this. So, judging by this, it's seen better days. Sort of. I mean, this thing's obviously much worse condition. So, at least I can see in there. To get to the screw. Oh, this one's already magnetized, that's good. So that's one. Oh, by the way, you've got these two down here, these two here, and these two up here, so you've got 6 screws altogether. And this controller looks like the previous owner wasn't exactly clean with it. I would like to buy an ultrasonic cleaner, and it's something I'm keeping in mind to purchase, but that's about $80 odd to get something like that off eBay. Whereas I'd be looking, no, sorry, I think it was $30. It's $80 locally. Ugh. Don't want to lose that. Don't want to knock that around. I probably should be using that magnetic board that I've got. There it goes. Okay, so that's all the screws. So if I clunk this thing open, and there goes one of the buttons, we can see that there's a bit of a build-up on the outside of this. Now, what I would have done in the past, I think I might actually look at cleaning this better later on, but what I'd like to do is to be able to take the whole thing out and then run it through a cleaning process. An ultrasonic cleaner, which I don't have. But I'll be leaving the grime in this and doing that another day. So, how difficult is that to take off? Alright, so you just need to give it a little bit of force. That's fine. Actually, just a second. So I've got this. It's like a iDevice cleaning thing. Someone's hair was in that. Okay. If you do try this yourself, you want to be very careful. I've already knocked off a SMD component with this. I think it was like a little capacitor or something. Now that was a lot more crap on there that I was comfortable with. So, interesting, that's labelled as menu on the logic board, while on the actual controller itself it's labelled as start pause. Oh, look at all that dirt. This is why it pays to be clean. Ooh, what do we got here? It's like a bit of a controller. Look at the Z thing. Yeah, actually it's snapped off. Oh well, looks like that'll be something else I'll have to look at. So that can go back on there. Okay, so I can put you aside. Not too happy with it, but I'll put it aside. Now, the second one is this one. And like before, we'll take out the 6 screws on the bottom. And with any luck, it should just open up. Now, these controllers are different, so I'm guessing they were manufactured at different times. But if you take a look at the 2 types of screws that are coming out of it, so this is the one I'm currently working on. As you can see, it's sort of silvery, and this one's sort of got like a brass finish to it. A little bit different, but something to take note of. So 3. It's kind of interesting when you sit down and you watch someone who's pulled apart a device the umpteenth time, and they just simply whack it apart and that's it. It's gone. It's apart, it's ready to go. when you take something apart for the first time, you do want to be a bit careful with what you're doing if you've never done it before, especially if you accidentally damage something even more. I mean, the last thing I'd want to do is make this thing even worse. So there was no cracking when I was pulling that apart, which is different. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay, that's coming up, and it didn't do that before. So I'll just push it out. Alright, so there's the base. That will be the vibrator, so the rumble pack. Oh, this Z button isn't broken, so I'll be taking that. And it looks like I'm going to need the entire trigger mechanism for this. But for now, I want to try to take off this hole. There we go. Okay, so this is a bit of a relax. Important thing to do, you can see the cable, how it comes in here and it plugs in through the side here. This lead that plugs into the actual console. If you look, if you saw before, there was something covering up one of the, a couple of the contacts. Not good. You want to try to remove that. So by looking at this, it appears it's been completely smashed up. So it looks like someone's just really smacked into it really hard. That's good. It would mean when it comes to just replacing the whole thing, I can just desolder it and I'm off. Now, the other thing I want to look at is this button. So I don't see any reason why that's not working. That'll be to look at and fix later on. So if I take this off, and we take a look at this one. Okay, so it looks like it's basically the same kind of, well, part, if that's what you want to call it. Now, the idea was to reuse this. Just a second. I'll hold it a second. Alright, I'm back. So, turns out I was looking in the wrong area completely. Now this appears to have has a bit of a crack on it. Don't know if you can see it. Bring it up into the sunlight. Is that working? There we go. Can you see that? Nasty little crack, and there's all that gunk in there. So I'm going to try to remove that. Whoop, watch the camera. Okay, so that's refocused. That's good. I gotta, ooh, I just bent my, that's not nice. Nah, I'm gonna get a vice grip or something to fix that. I won't be able to fix that for a while. Okay, so that's obviously not going to come out without some additional, probably not a good idea. So that's how strong the plastic is, enough to be able to bend metal. And these are a good pair of tweezers too. That's ticking me off a bit. Probably not a good idea to use that. Paper clip's going to be way too soft. So the idea was to pull that out and, or the part that's in there, but that's not going to happen. So next part would be to take off this R button, which I have not seen how to do. Oh. Okay, so it turns out you just lift this part up and the whole mechanism pops out. I want to make sure you keep the spring and also the button. Alright. That looks good. So let's do an attempt to reassemble, shall we? Follow the key on here. I wonder how much force someone had to apply in order to break this controller. I mean, yeesh. What I think I will do, however, is take this Z button and replace it with the broken one. Put that back on a little bit. Okay, so oh, by the way, for this I'm probably going to end up using like a vice grip or a pair of pliers to fix those tweezers. Bend them back into shape. Okay, put this pad back on. You got to be careful with these. I've accidentally broken a couple of them in the past and I haven't been happy about it. In fact, I can do that to that. Oi, 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 I did not think this through. Oh, sorry, should be in camera view. So all I've done was just fidget this Z button back on, put this in place. I fixed this over the pad for it. Being careful to flip it upside down. And put it back together. And that's the actual. Probably not the best way of doing it. Let's try this way. There goes those two. Make sure the cable is in the right place. Oh, I see. So it actually fits around. So there's this little knob sticking up here, and cock the board up, and you can stick that right back into place. Oh, wow, that is a very clean fit for that zip tie. This controller may be an out-of-date POS, but you sometimes got to wonder the kind of work that's gone into design and engineering of this sort of stuff. And something poorly designed is going to fail dramatically. Okay, so you can take that back to the shop and show the guy who gave this, well, the owner, what this looks like. And keep that separate as well because whoops. So I can put that one in. Two and three. I have to admit, design-wise, I definitely like this controller better. I've got a feeling it might be a later revision. I don't know, it just seems to be built better. I like the effect that's on it. So I'm not going to pull apart that cheap one of these. I'm going to pull this one apart. See, if you're like me and you like using genuine parts, if you can pull them out of rather cheap, useless devices, well, the more the merrier. Oh. What do you know? Yeah, look at that. It's almost identical. Actually, that is identical. Oof. You know what? I might try to do the repair by taking this off. Or getting another one of these and trying to take it apart. So 3 columns. Okay. Might end up actually taking this thing apart and trying to slip it in there and see if that works. So, size comparison. Okay, so design-wise, the GameCube is basically the same as the Wii controller. I mean, the internals are the same, almost. This footprint in here should be identical. I mean, bah! I should even be able to slot this on here. Oh, cool. You can buy these things for like a couple of dollars near where I'm living. There's a place called Cash Converters. Not really the best place to buy stuff from, but that's nuts. Nintendo just reused stuff they had, which is good. That means I might be able to fix that controller with using original Nintendo parts and not some cheap, crappy knockoff third-party bits. Well, except for the Z button for that one. Okay. So while my intention is to use this as a pull apart, I'm still going to reassemble it. No, I'll just have to see if I can pick up another nun-chuck. Actually, here's the thing. SB Games will sell them. I'm pretty sure the last time I was in there I did see they had a couple in stock, so I'll have to take a bit of money with me. Okay, so let's look at fixing this. So the first thing I'm going to... Oh, that's really bugging me. I might have to go on eBay, see if I can find another pair of these and order them when I can. So the Z button, yep. Alright, let's do a reassemble of this. So let's not use that, and instead let's go back with this. Ooh. What earth is that? Yeah, something's definitely chewed on this. And let's just take you off carefully and put you aside. Okay, so this one's actually screwed in with your standard Am I in luck? Too big. Alright, so reinforcement wise, this controller is definitely much better. Alright, so can I lift that up? Almost. There it goes. Alright, so it looks like this actually has a different type of assembly than the previous controller. Well, this controller would definitely save them money since they're not using these screws. Now, what we've got here is a spring. Oh, I'll just bring this up here. So the original unit just had this simple setup, which just sort of sat on there, and that bit in there, so we got these two bits. Oh yeah, so they changed this module. What we need is this screw, this spring, sorry, not screw. This spring into here, that should go on there. First, I need to insert the R button. There we go, that's good. And then I should be able to insert the spring and the button mechanism in like so. And then reattach this. So my question is, how on earth did this get out? I mean, sorry, I don't see any like tooling or scratch marks that would suggest someone ripped this out, but how is it taken out so cleanly? I mean, oof. Probably one of those things best left alone. Like half the people online. No, like 90% of the people online. I mean, yeesh. Some of the comments have been shown lately on places like Facebook, Twitter. No, I'm sorry, it's just getting too much for me. Okay, I'm happy with that. Both buttons seem to be functioning appropriately. There's no real, there is a little discoloration. Alright, so the rest of this board, I mean, the only thing that's wrong with this one really is something that's cosmetic. I may use the one that I get from the Northern Territory, which is a cheap Chinese knockoff of the controller, and see how that goes. But as I recall now, I need to lift this up a little bit. Huh, where's the top of it? Here it is. Okay, so it should just wedge in there like that. Pop you back on here like so. less right. Do the bottom the bottom last and the top first. Oh, look at all that gunk. So I want that slider to be up here like that. Oh, looks like something got some sort of drink or whatever got leaked into this thing. Oof. It's not nice. So yeah, if you want to look after your equipment, don't drink, eat while gaming. Unless of course you got plenty of money to be able to go out and buy controllers left, right and centre. If you do, good for you. Huh. So on this one, this joypad here is held in with 2 screws. 2 different revisions of the same controller. Alright, so the Z button goes in here. Get in there. There you go. Alright, so that should be making contact there. These 2 wipers are up, but you need to make sure. That has to get back in there. And I should be ready to place this back on top. Alright, so something's not giving way. I'm going to clean that dirt out of here first. Oh, that feels a lot better. So just, here we go. And how's this still going? Yep. I've been doing this for half an hour. Oof. After the edits, it's probably going to be a little less, but whatever. So make sure that's in place. Button. Ooh, that went in a lot better. That works. Whoop. And let's put these screws back in. So the next time I should need to pull this controller apart will be to give it a good once over with an ultrasonic cleaner. I definitely do not have the followers that would be able to cover buying that. So it's just going to be something I purchased when I got the money. Well, the money's spare. Actually, I'll take that with me to Hackerspace and see whether or not I can get someone's help. Because I got no idea what I'm doing. And when I've got no idea what I'm doing, I just totally lock up. In this case, I've already pulled apart controllers before, so I'm comfortable with the idea about doing that, but when you get something that little fidgety, it's like, nah, I'm lost. Oh, and might as well with this. So, I bought this from EB Games thinking, oh yeah, sweet, Nintendo product, and found out it was just a knockoff piece of whatever. Actually, I think it's knocking this off, which as far as I can tell, it's an official Nintendo product. Wow, it's gotten really dark in here now. Tassie weather. You can get you can get all 4 seasons in one day. Should know I've lived through it. Well, that's a bit dodgy. This is missing a screw. Let's see whether or not this is worth it. Come on, come on. There you go. Oh, wow. Ooh, that's not good. I think someone's already pulled this apart because you got the one knob missing over here. So this looks just like the... Oh, I don't believe it. That's actually been pushed down. Yeah, I would say that... Yep. So... There it goes. Yeah, I'm not going to be... Ooh, nasty! Look at that! That is definitely not good. You can see the split wires. So here are two little knobs. In fact, I should be able to use those on the GameCube as well. Alright, well, this I'm not going to be reassembling. Peculiar. Alright, so in here, this looks just like the GameCube controller part, or at least the attachment. That doesn't. There was like a little notch, and the little notch is not in this. It looks like it will still fit and function just fine, it's just not identical. Alright, so I've got a couple of extra of those. There's that one there. Yeah, I didn't like that thing. Screw putting it back together. Oof, look at all the mess. This is what can get into your controllers, people. But most people aren't going to be curious about that. That bit goes there. That bit can go there. So this controller works, hopefully. Actually, let's test it. It's been reassembled. Alright, so this is all sort of crooked because I tried to adjust the camera to show my television setup. This works just fine. Apart from this like dodgy part here, I mean that's just needs cleaning. Before I actually start using it properly to game, I'm gonna give it a good clean up. But no, this is a nice working controller now. That's good. So what I have for the moment is this pile of crap. So the first issue is that. The second issue is, well, this. So I'm going to do a little bit of research and find out whether or not there's like a quick sort of snip, rewire, little tiny box I can just connect everything into. Because that is somewhat... Ooh, I've only seen this bundled up. So here's the joint and there's the controller. So there's a... Yeah. Just untangle this. So you've still got a fair bit. So here's a joint here, and we keep going and going and going, and here's this. So there's. I thought I could actually just cut this off and rewire it in here, but that's not going to work. So that's fun, and to be sure I don't lose any of these little bits and pieces, I'll be clear about this. Sandwich bags are just fine for storing little bits of plastic. With electronics, not so much. Unless you treasure them. So, that is... Actually, I'll show you how to do that properly. Buy these from the supermarket. They're like $6 for a pack of 20 or something. They're a bit dear or expensive. Screwing that word for some reason. And that is that. Now, I suppose the thing is that, yes, I can use this Wii controller if you can get a bunch of these really cheap. Good source for like those little bits and pieces. Not so much the cabling. But no, knowing that these should be cross-compatible, that's really nice to know. It's really useful. But anyway, that should be the end of this video, and hopefully I'll have this mess sort of sorted out soon. Alright, thanks for watching. See ya!